I'm joined here by Mark the Florist. Mark has a florist on Victoria Street in Darlinghurst. Welcome to the Creative Precinct, Mark.
Thanks, Mike.
Now, you're celebrating your first year anniversary. Well, it's last month actually, but congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
What a year to open.
I know. Look, who would have thought that so many challenges go our way? But it has certainly been an experience and a roller coaster ride at that.
Yeah. How have you found, I mean, March, I suppose, when non-essential businesses closed down, how was that period for you?
Really challenging. So like being a new business and I suppose about 7 months old at that point, we were just starting to peak and then had hired staff and were starting to get into a routine. And suddenly all that was just thrown up in the air. And I suppose many sleepless nights at the start, being really stressed and going, oh my God, what's going to happen? I've just signed a lease on a property in an amazing suburb and it wasn't part of the business plan. And whilst plans change, that was really scary and confronting. And I suppose one thing that I can reflect on in that first week, we had about $38,000 worth of cancellations of pre-booked business.
Wow.
And, every morning I'd wake up, there'd be another, 3 cancellations. That was really scary. So our business decreased for that month for the first time. We had like good growth month on month, but the business had decreased like over 50%.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know, Mark, through the community, you've done so much through COVID-19. One was actually hosting the Darlo pantry, and you used your pantry inside your florist as the storage unit, so people could drop off goods there that could be then displayed on the shelf that was positioned outside of your shop. So congratulations, firstly. That's just such a humbling act, and I thank you so much for hosting the pantry storage, but also all the work that you've done directly with our homeless as well.
Yeah, sure. So I suppose one thing for me is that I knew that we had an issue because the first 6 months of my business, not one person really asking for food on the streets or help from that perspective. So that first initial shock of COVID was that I suppose everyone was in panic. They're panic buying. There's less food available from those sorts of organisations that give donations of food. And I knew that we had a problem that we discussed when multiple people would ask for food and be crying on the streets. There was one night I was leaving the shop and unfortunately the guy knocked on my window and was crying because he was starving, and I knew that we needed to do something, and that's when we had a discussion. And I have to say, the Darlings community really got behind it and supported it, and everyone was just so kind through that whole period.
Yeah, and I think for residents it's been a really nice, simple way that they can give back. We had so many people through the group that just donated every day. Some people were dropping off things at the pantry every day, and thanks to you and your neighbour Gino, we could use that space during the first stages of lockdown, which was amazing. I love Mark the Florist, and I love that you've become our favourite local florist.
Thank
you. You do so much, but you've also got amazing products, and you've got a new candle range coming out, which is really exciting.
So picking up on Sunday, so we're relaunching the candle range after challenges with supply issues. And I suppose, during COVID, I'd like to thank the community because, as a new business owner, I wasn't part of the business plan, and because, and I mean this in a positive way, we weren't entitled to any grants of the government, so that made it more challenging to be successful. And the community really got behind my business. And when I started Mark the Florist, the point of difference to me is that I want to be the local, approachable neighbourhood florist. And one thing that I felt that was really important, we sort of abolished minimum spend during that time, and we still have, because I think that if someone wants to buy flowers for $10, $50 or $100, it's irrelevant. They want to express an emotion. And I said to my team, it's your job as a florist to create something for that person because they need to say, thank you, or I love you, or I care for you, or just because during this time. And we're still sort of adhering to that policy, I suppose. But I just feel that I've made the right decision being in Darlinghurst, and the whole surrounding suburbs have really got behind me. And I suppose in the first week it was really challenging. That rollercoaster ride of sleepless nights and being really stressed, and little gestures would happen, or a phone call would happen when I'm at my lowest to pick me up, and that sort of is enough to keep you going.
Yeah.
So it might be that, we had about 8 clients come in and prepay for flowers they may use later on. And that trust, I suppose, was just like, oh my God, I'm in a community that actually cares about Mark the Florist, me as a person, just as much as I care about them. Or, they send in a coffee, or they bring a muffin, or whatever. Like, it's just, or just call in to say hi.
Yeah, it's amazing. I love the story as well. And Maria won't mind me saying it, but Maria Dillon owns the Grand Royal Barbers in Darlinghurst and Surry Hills, and a city location as well. And she's been having her own COVID ups and downs with different issues as well, and trying to keep her foreign workers employed as well. But she went into Mark. She said to me, "Oh, do you think if I sent out 50 bouquets to businesses who survived COVID locally, that Mark would be able to supply the flowers?" She said, "I want to support a local business. Mark's my business neighbour." And I said, "Of course Mark would do that." So Maria wrote down 50 names of different businesses, and I think you had Cleo working there at the time, and Cleo had to handwrite all the cards. And,
absolutely.
But I mean, that's just such a kind thing for Maria and Steve Dillon to do, and to use you as the distribution.
I know. Maria is amazing, and her business, and what a kind, big heart. Like, that was an amazing gesture that I remember, and will definitely be one of the highlights of an example of a great businesswoman that's got compassion and so much love for the community. Little things, like I went there recently for a haircut, and I missed 2 appointments because we're so busy sometimes. And virtually, at the end of my haircut, she's like, "You're staying? I'm doing a facial." And I'm like, oh my God, and I felt amazing. I'm stressing, thinking I don't have time for this, but then I'm like, oh my God, I need to self-care more. And she's been at me.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah.
Because what a lot of people don't realise is, I mean, people see your florist doors open, but you're at the markets at 4 a.m. in the morning, at least 5 days a week. Then you're opening the shop. You don't finish until 7 o'clock. It's a really tough gig.
Yeah, sure.
And whether you're a restaurant owner or a florist, your morning starts way before the keys put in the physical location door.
Yeah.
So, congratulations again. Just one final thing. With 2021 barreling towards us, what's your hopes for the new year?
Hopes for the new year is, I suppose, obviously the business to be successful, but to continue success with the support of the local community and give back. So it's about give and take, and where we can support things, we always will. And I just want to be successful. And we're always coming up with new ideas and new experiences. From a business perspective, like the flowers is the most important part of the business, and getting that right, and choosing the best quality product for the community to experience and have fun with.
Yeah.
But I'd like to reiterate that if you need that happiness, we have so many doctors and nurses coming in on their lunch breaks, not to purchase, but to be in a nice environment, smelling our product, and it's all interactive. And I encourage people to come in and experience that. You don't need to make a purchase to experience the beautiful perfume local product that we have.
Yeah, it's amazing. But look, congratulations on 1 year.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on the Creative Precinct.
My pleasure.
And all the best for the rest of the year.
Thanks, Mike.